Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for returning. After the first video, obviously it was a little bit shocking because we didn't have any friendlies to play in these competitive games. So it turns out we had turned it around, and it was simply because of the fitness of the players. I mean, if we have a little look at the players now, they're still not looking great, but at least the first team is looking better. But what I'm going to do now is I'm really going to hone in on the tactics and improve what it is we're looking to do, because Aberdeen are expected to finish fourth, and there are some games where we're going to be underdogs and there's some games we're going to be the favourites. So we're going to look a little bit further into the tactics of each of those methods. So for example, we're using, this is the attacking formation, but I'm actually going to change it up. I think I'm going to switch slightly, because I was playing on my personal save and I was finding some success, and I was playing some sexy football in the Vanarama National National North. I'm playing as Hereford, and you can actually play some really good football in the lower leagues. So Scotland shouldn't be any different. If anything, they should be slightly better than my Hereford team, because they're much better. So let's actually change what we're doing here. So I want to move to a 4-2-3-1. I think it's a little bit more balanced. You've got 6 at the back to defend, and then you've got 4 up top to do what we're trying to do. So whether you're playing football, looking after the possession, or whether you're looking to play on the counter, I feel like it's more balanced, except we're going to switch it up slightly. So one's going to be more in your face, the other one's going to be lower, like the Leicester sort of style. So we're going to try and play a Man City, Liverpool-esque type football, and we're also going to try and play Leicester style football when they won the league. So what do we do first? First of all, the attacking formation. Let's start with that. So wing backs is perfectly fine, and then the wingers on the attack. The one thing that I was finding we weren't doing so well with was having 2 inside forwards before, or inverted wingers, because what that was doing is it was creating like an overload in the middle, but the width wasn't being fulfilled as much, because the fullbacks, I mean, on this tactic we're playing fullbacks, so they weren't really, look, if you can see here, they're going in here, both sides, so it's becoming a 3 up top, but the fullbacks are not really, they do come forwards, but only when you secure possession in the final third. When you secure that middle of the park, then they start to venture forwards. Excuse me. So let's sort this out, shall we? So I actually think with a possession style football, having these bomb forwards is not necessarily a good thing. You want players to show for the ball. So I feel like let's put these on support, whatever they're going to be, and we're going to really hone down on who's the best for each position. So we've got Coulson here. What is your pace like? He's really quick, so I'm not worried about him. He can play as a winger on support. Richardson is the best option by the looks of things. And again, look, he's on loan from... Is he on loan? No, one of them's on loan. Sorry, bear with me a second. Yeah, Coulson, he's on loan from Middlesbrough. Okay, perfect. Central defender. What are we looking for? Pullock. So his pace is 10. That's the only thing that worries me, is the pace. But we have got quite a decent sweeper keeper, so we're going to get lost to balls over the top. Look, his pace is really, really bad as well. So we're playing. Okay, so we're tweaking this slightly, and I know ball-winning midfielders can be quite... they can be quite challenging because they get a lot of red and yellow cards. Alexa, stop, please. Box-to-box midfielder on here. This guy. So when you're playing like a possession-style football, you need your wide players to support each other. So your fullbacks, wingbacks, and wingers, etc. And then the middle of the park, they also need to be support. So defending players, they need really good positioning as a priority. Support players need both positioning and off the ball, and then attackers need good off the ball. So we're going to try and keep the possession around here, but we're going to ask the front two to be attacking. And I actually think a deep lying forward on attack, because you want these two to link up with everything else that's going on. So advanced playmaker will naturally want to receive possession. In fact, everything will try and go through them. All of these guys will be using this. And then the deep lying forward, he's coming back to kind of support, but he's also still trying to penetrate in behind. So I feel like this is going to be a better setup against teams that we should be beating, and the home games. But generally speaking, if I'm playing Celtic and Rangers, I won't be playing this. This is just basic principles of keep the ball, win the ball. Let's start from a clean slate and we'll build it up from here. So what do we want to do? So first of all, I'm thinking we want to go a little bit wider, but I want the possession to be shorter and the tempo to be slower. The idea of this is patience. Imagine Arsenal back in the day of Arsene Wenger, when they were really trying to hold on to the ball, but at the same time waiting for that perfect moment. So by playing a slower tempo, like Brighton and Hove Albion at the moment, they play a really nice little football around here, and they wait for the opposition to come out, and then they will pass in behind. That's what we're looking to do. So we're going to play out of defence, keep the ball, and we're going to work it into the box. So we're waiting for that perfect moment. And we're going to play for set plays as well. I want to try and win penalties. And that also means that, for example, when the opposition win the ball and they're looking to counter, they will also do tactical fouls. So that's also play for set plays included. What else do we need to do? So we're going to counter press, but we're not going to change anything on here. We're not going to counter, because the one thing we are doing is we're going to push high up, so we don't need everybody to bomb forward. What that would do is create a extreme. So you can quite easily overdo things, especially when it comes to defensive principles. Like, for example, if I was to go attacking, closing down at a really high, and then get stuck in, for example, prevent short goal kicks and all of that, it's a complete and utter overload, and actually you find that you're doing more harm to yourself than good. So what else do we need? So we need the goalkeeper distribution. We're going to ask him to play to centre-backs and slow the pace down, because we're not looking to play high-octane football. This is just keep the ball and make sure that we're good on the ball, and take short kicks. That's it. Out of possession, we are going to go a higher line, high press, and we're going to go higher line. But we're only going to go up one. We're not going to go all the way, but we are going to prevent the short goal kick. But we're doing that in a positive mentality, so it does mean that they will still defend. What else do we need? Don't step up. No, we're going to leave the rest as it is. So that's tactic number one for the possession style, tweaked, and I feel like this is going to be a lot better. When we were trying to win possession and keep the ball before, I had these two wide players on attack. Now I do make mistakes and it takes a while for me to notice things, but when I notice, it's like, okay, I try things. I play in key highlights nowadays because I want to get through the games, and I usually analyse the stats on the screen to make my decisions as to what's happening. Like, for example, with this, let's go clean slate. We're going to change all of this up, but it's still going to remain similar. So you are my cam player. But this time we're going to drop these lower, because what we're looking to do is let the opposition come into our half. We're not even going to press them until they do come into our half. But when they do, we're going to win it and attack with renewed vigour. So this time we're going to have an anchor man, and I think a Segunde Volante, because I want like the Kante role. Who played here, if I remember? Danny Drinkwater played this side, and he played like as a deep line playmaker on defend, but he was really good at passing, so he could do that. And then you had Kante, who would come up like a lower box to box. That's what this role is. He will still come all the way up, and if you put it on attack, he goes beyond the striker. But we don't want him to do that. We want him to support, but not crazily. And you'll notice the difference between this, because fullbacks will still come forward, but they don't start high. They stay in that back line of four, whereas the wing backs, they will be sort of like hanging around here, and the defenders will split a little bit wider, and then the sweeper keeper. In fact, I'm actually on this one going to put him on the sweeper keeper attack. So I'm going to trust him, because look at his passing, 11. Decisions are 9. I mean, it's not great. And we got anyone better, actually? Ross? Yes, we do. Right, so Jay Gorter. Oh, there you go. Look at the difference. So his decisions are 13, passing 12. Where's his technique? What, do goalkeepers not have technique? That's weird. Oh, technical is 7. Okay. But he's got pace of 12 as well, so this is our guy. We are going to sort of go through the team and re-pick the players as well. Before, what I did is I just picked players based on what I thought was initially good for the team, just to get them up and running. But now we've been playing a little while, I want to go through and make sure we've got the right players in positions. Okay, so what else do we need? Because we're no longer playing. Sorry, I've just noticed one thing. On this possession style, we've got no D-mids now, so we need at least one of the centre-backs to be a stopper. So which player is better at that? So if we put stopper this side, we don't need the cover because the sweeper keeper is the cover. So we're going to leave that on standard. Right, so what I want is anticipation and aggression and strength, because this person is going to run and sort of barge into players. Aggression 15, marking, tackling 12, strength 15. They're both really tall, 6'3" and 6'3". To be fair, I don't think it really matters. I think that's fine as it is. That tactic's complete. I'm happy with that. So we want the Volante, attacking midfielder. This time we are going to have the wingers on attack, because what we're looking to do is suck them into here and then play it quickly to the wingers, who are going to bomb forward very quickly. But we're going to pick and choose when that happens, and you will see. It will look great. So the roles. Another thing I want to explain is, obviously with the strikers being high up, if you play advanced forwards or any sort of dribbling like trequartistas, they can't come quite deep, that's fine. But if I was to play the advanced forward on that, he doesn't really have the space to run into. And it's the same with over here. Like if you play inside forwards and you play in a high line, that will work, but it's quite difficult because there's not that much space. So on the counter, we are going to have all of this. We're going to play with a low block. So look at all that space they've got. So then advanced forward then comes into play. So that's great. And this guy, because we're looking to win it in the middle of the park, he's going to be a support player this time, and these guys are going to be creating the space out wide, okay, if that makes sense. So let's look. What we're going to do is we're going to pass direct, we're going to higher the tempo, we're going to play wider, we're going to pass into space, but we're not going to play out of defence, we're not going to muck about. And again, we're going to play for set pieces because we want to try and win tactical advantages higher up the pitch. Remember, this is against Celtic and Rangers. There's going to be space, and we need to get forward quickly. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for this one. And then on this page, we're going to regroup and we're going to counter. But we're going to distribute to flanks. No, sorry, we're going to go to the fullbacks. We're going to kick it short, but we're going to do it quickly. And this is going to enable a counter-attack quickly, because generally speaking, when a team's pressing quite high, the wider players are the better options to go for. And we want, if I launch it, it gives the opportunity for the opposition to recycle the possession and then come back at us. And we don't want the wave after wave. We want to bring them in, but then use that to advantage. So out of possession, we're going to go low block. We're going to get stuck in. We're going to get stuck in and we're going to trigger the press. But that's only when they come into our half. So we're regrouping. Our first priority when we lose the ball is not to win the ball back straight away. We want to set our shape first and then defend. So there's a conflict, and it's quite easy to misinterpret what this is saying. So we could counter press on the counter. It sounds like you should use that, but actually it's a reverse effect. If you lose the ball up here, you don't want all of your team to push up into the face of a better opponent. So regroup, reset, and then when you're in shape, that's when you trigger more presses. Okay, so look, the line of engagement is down here. Make sense? Good. Give me a like and a thumbs up if that makes sense. Thank you very much. And that's it. That's all we're trying to do, really. I think I've got... Let me make sure we've got the right players in the right places. I think, generally speaking, I think Shinnie, if I remember rightly, is more of a box-to-box player. And he's got positioning off the ball, support player, perfect. So Shinnie, I'm right about that one. Defensive midfielder, let's see who's best for this. It looks like it is this guy, who's slightly injured at the moment. But yeah, his position is 12, marking, tackling 14. And he's got good stamina, although he's not really being asked to go forward. So he's a ball winner, yeah, that's what we want. And generally speaking, by the way, when you're playing a 4-2-3-1, the anchor man is usually the best option for the midfielder. And the way I interpret it is you've got the anchor man. Let's have a little look. So you've got the defensive midfielder, the ball-winning midfielder, the anchor man, and the half-back. The rest of the positions, like the deep line playmaker, regista, roaming playmaker, and volante, are usually for more creative players. So generally speaking, what I'm thinking about is the defensive principle. So the defensive midfielder, I would play more when you're playing a sort of 4-3-3. And also, I would play a... let me think about this. So if you're playing a low line, a half-back is good, because when the fullback, or if the fullbacks are going bombing forwards, if you've got both of these on attack, for example, the half-back is perfect, because then he's going to cover them two going missing. Okay, but if you're playing like a defensive principle, like you're trying to soak the ball up, anchor man, defensive midfielder, because they're not going to contribute in the top half of the pitch. You want them to stay safe, look after the ball. And generally speaking, that's what I would do. So anchor man and defensive midfielder are your two most defensive. Your ball winner, I would play ball winning midfielders more when you're playing a high press and you're trying to close down in the opposition half, because you will see on the heat map he will be up here and around here. Okay, the ball winner. But if you was to play an anchor man, his heat map would be down here. That's the difference. So it's all about risk and reward, and what the player's ability is to be able to play that role. But generally speaking, if they can play a ball winner, they can do pretty much most of them. But it's all about the positioning. Yeah, that's it. Right, so attacking midfielder. It looks like Clarkson. Oh, look at him. Passing 15, vision 13, teamwork 12, decisions 11, first touch 14, perfect. Anticipation 11. He's got a bit of flair. I mean, he's not that determined, but for this level, I think he's actually pretty good. But he's injured for how long? Oh, 1 to 3 days. He's going to be back in a sec. But what we're going to do now is put those principles into action. Oh, hang on. I forgot to put the mentality on cautious. So cautious mentality. So we're still looking to attack, but we're doing it in a very reserved fashion. And by the way, be patient with both of these tactics, because in this style, if you're playing possession style, you're not looking to score 5 or 6 goals, even though you can. This is more about waiting for that perfect opportunity, and it will come. Even if you go 1-0 down, in the past, what I would do is I would change the tactics and start tweaking. Oh, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. First of all, you need the familiarity to grow. And as you can see, it's only halfway there. It's going to take 3 or 4 games before they're going to start understanding how to play the system. So you might lose. And even when they are familiar, you still might lose. That's okay. As long as you're on target, it's okay to lose games. But if you're losing and losing and losing and losing, there's something seriously wrong. Generally speaking, there's something too attacking, or you're overly defensive and there's no outlet, for example. But in both of these tactics, there's outlets, there's support, there's opportunity. We've set our traps in both scenarios, and then we can counter. Normally, I would go 1-0 up, 2-0 up, change it up, depending on the opposition. Really, if they don't come back at us, then I might leave this until the final whistle, and I might do things like time waste, and then go even lower on this, and then be more disciplined. And I might, out of possession. Oh, sorry, bear with me. I might not even counter press. I might just slow it down and just like allow it, and just let them play, and drop the mentality to like balanced. And then what that will do is it will hold onto the ball even more. With the time wasted alone, even if you just leave it as it was and just add time wasting, then generally speaking, they will look after the ball anyway. Be more disciplined isn't a bad thing. You can play with that, by the way, especially with possession style football, because it means that you're going to keep your shape even more. But actually, you will keep your shape by not countering. As soon as you click counter, all of your shape that you're trying to achieve, say for example you want height, width and depth, yeah? But if you all of a sudden press counter, and I see this a lot in tactics, and I've done it in the past, and it's something I've only just started to realise with regards to these two functions, is that will destroy your team shape. Okay? And the same if you're trying to stay high up the pitch and you press regroup, obviously it's quite self-explanatory, but it's really easy to make these mistakes, and you're playing the game and you're seeing on paper, I want you to play this way, and you click these buttons, and so why isn't it happening? Generally it's these two things. Okay, so counter press, don't counter, that will hold the shape, and we're gonna demonstrate it now. But we're playing Celtics. Let's have a little look at what we got. We're going to play 3 games now. Celtic, St Mirren and Motherwell. Okay? And I'm going to play so we're away against Celtics, and we're definitely playing the counter tactic. And then St Mirren and Motherwell, I'm going to show you the control tactic with the same players. Okay? So let's go. Sorry, bear with me. It should have been at the point. My bad. But with my uploads, what I want to know from you guys is I don't like to cut and edit. Maybe I'm just lazy, but it's not even about that. I just want you to show it. I want you to see it raw, and I'm making speech mistakes, and I'll always make mistakes, and even in game make mistakes. But what I don't want to do is cut them out and place it in. I just want you to see me playing the game. I'm not reloading or cheating or using the in-game editor. I mean, I do own the editor, but it's not actually available. Look, I can't click it. I can't make edits. And if I go to game status, in-game editor allowed, no. Like I've had it since I bought the game, but I can't actually use it at all. I mean, even if I go into preferences and show in-game editor, like I can see it, like, but I can't use it. Okay, so there's no cheating. I just want to put that out there, just in case people see that little pen there, because I've seen YouTubers upload videos, and instantly, as soon as I see that's like white, I know that there's so many things that you can do with that, and you can heal players, you can edit contracts, you can move players to your team, you can literally make the morale go perfect. You can do all of that, but what's the point? What fun are you getting out of the game when you know that you've won a league, but you haven't won the league because you've edited? And that's one thing for sure. Like, I owned it, I did buy it, but I didn't use it. Right. Patrick Vissel loan off of Richardson. I think we need you, so no, that's not going to happen. Right, so Celtic away now. What's your predictions based on the tactic that I've just showed you? Say your predictions now in the comments, please. Thank you. That would be great. A few of you have watched the first video, and I'm really grateful for that. I did actually create a second video, but I wasn't really happy with the sound. I had the microphone in the wrong position, and when the game was playing and you could hear the fans screaming, I felt like it was the level of my voice and the level of the fans were about the same. So I wasn't happy with it. Right, let's have a little look. What can we do here? Instead of Shinny, we're going to need to use Clark's. Hang on, let me just make sure. Positioning, off the ball, passing. I thought we were going to use you up high though. Was we not? Yeah, that's what I thought. But, sorry, bear with me. Passing foot. Do you know what? I'm actually going to do that. I'm gonna play Clarkson here for a game just to see how he does. But with Crawley, if I remember rightly, he's quite good. Yeah, positioning 12, marking, tackling. In fact, I am actually going to play McCrory simply because we're playing Celtic, and I'd rather have a better player in both of those positions. And as you can see, I've still got my sub set up from the pre-season friendlies. So let's see. Yeah, that's better. That's, yes. Hang on. Is that what we're looking to do? Right, let's just, sorry, bear with me. I just need to go through the team again just to make sure. Right, so we've got Hayes. Scales is better, but he's on loan from Celtic, funnily enough, so he can't play. Right. Let's, you know what? I'm really sorry, but I want to make sure I've got this correct and the best possible way that we can have. Right, so you're injured. Forget you for a second. Right, Coulson. It's Coulson, isn't it? He's a defender. He's the best as a wing back on attack. We're asking you to do counter. So I think that's Coulson. Right, then Pollock, I believe, is your best positioning. Heading 15, jumping. Right, so yeah, so what we want when you're playing a low line is you want big, strong, strapping men, right, that can win the ball, get up for the headers, and bully the players around them. When you're playing a higher line, like the possession style, you want players that are more pacey, that can run and cover your defence. That should go without saying, really, but it's really easy to play a fast player down low and not get the best out of him, especially if they're like 5 foot something. Right, McCrory, positioning. I'm for, I guess it is you. Jumping reach 13, heading, marking, and his strength. Okay, 6'1". So we're playing you and you, and what I want to check is, so he's actually a ball-winning midfielder. Playing him out of position, really. Let me have a little look. He's the best of what we got, though. So centre backs are really important to get right. And I guess let's have a little look at the finances. Oh look, we're over budget by £6,000, but not when we do this. Why can't I move the scale? Confirm, we're still over budget even with that. Okay, so we need to fix that. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent there. I just wanted to know if we could improve or not, but the whole point of this save is just to show you that you can work with the team that you're given at the beginning. You don't have to make loads of transfers and make... his fitness is not great, but it's going to have to do. It's going to have to do. You're my man. Right, and then Shinny is injured. So it's going to be Clarkson. These were okay. Right, also, what we're also looking to do is put these as wingers. I don't want inverted wingers with fullbacks. If you're going inverted wingers, you need wing backs to overlap. That was another mistake I made in the first video. Right, what we playing here? So we had it right just a minute ago. I don't know why I cleared the whole team, but hey ho, these things are here to try us, aren't they? What did we do before? Right, so we want the striker to be, the most important element is the striker. He's got finishing at 12, finishing at 13. Right, so Wolski is you, and then I believe I'm going to play Duck on the left, who is right-footed. Yeah. But it just means that even if you play a right-footed player on the left as a winger, he will still cross with his left, but he'll also cut in and shoot with his right. Except the difference is, instead of going diagonal, he will go down the line, stop, turn, and then cross. So there's nothing wrong with playing a right-footed player on the left winger. And then Vassell, I believe. Yeah, what I'm looking to do, and also, can they score goals? Because these are going to get chances. That's the team. Right, so that's sorted. And goalkeeper, Gorta, sweeper keeper. No, you definitely don't want... Another thing is, if you're playing a low line, don't play a sweeper keeper, because you don't want him coming out of position, and I see it a lot, when if you play a sweeper keeper, he will literally collide with centre backs and right backs, and he's out of position, the opposition go up for a header, and there's no goalkeeper in goal. Do not play a sweeper keeper with a low line. It's an absolute no-no. Right, and then I'm just going to put the assistant to pick. Pick without restriction. Pick without restriction. Where's the... Oh no, I can't undo that now, can I? So I'm just going to pause the recording and fix that. I'm so sorry, bear with me. Sorry about that. So yeah, I've got it all set now. I was literally asking for the assistant manager to pick the unpicked position. So let's go. We're ready. So we're going to play the counter style. We're going to play in key highlights. Don't panic. You can overwatch a game, and it can literally do your heading. What I mean by that is you'll see something happening. You're like, oh no. But this whole tactic is designed to let the opposition have shots. As long as they're from distance, that's absolutely fine. Right? And the team talk is really important here. So we're playing a counter mentality. If you say to the midfielders, for example, I'm expecting you to take control of the middle out there, midfield, that's going to completely go against what you're trying to do. So it's really important. If I'm playing that higher possession football, then yes, I want you to take control. So I'm literally going to say, I trust you to make the difference. Defenders, I already did that. Attackers, and then I'm going to say, I trust you to make the difference. Or I'm expecting good finishing. But if you say I'm expecting good finishing, that could also be counterproductive, because you're not going to get that many chances. So I just want you to make the difference. So it's all about the mentality. I expect to lose this game, and predictions please. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. And no cheating, do it now, and let's see what happens. Alright, first of all, straight away, always be talking to your players, encourage. So look, straight away shot, 2 shots. But the highlights will fly by. I mean, the time without highlights. So that's 3 shots they've had. But none on target. That's what we're aiming for. We're the underdogs, but we're gonna smash and grab. We'll try to, at least. Over the top, clears. Right. Put a set in a nice shape. They're going to have to do something special to get past us. And to be fair, on paper, Celtic are capable. So 1-0 down, but that's fine. Don't panic, encourage. So what happened? It was just a great ball over the top. The player was out of position, and Kroger obviously got the better of us. But that's fine, we're not expected to win this game. And also, the team are not familiar with what I've asked them to do. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to adapt. So patience is all we need. If I try and play football against this team, I will get absolutely smashed. And it is possible to do it, but I'd rather play the game realistically, if that makes sense. Vickers, Familiarity, McGregor, Turnbull, he's offside. I like playing with this camera view. I used to be a 2D player kind of guy. How do you play it? Is it in 2D? Do you play 3D? And what camera setting? Right, so Moist is already struggling, and that will have quite an effect on what we're trying to do going forward. So I might change him off at half time. Put Duck over there. Duck. Right, so team talk is really important. This can make you come back and win games. So let's have a little look. 3 underdogs come back. But I know we can earn a draw here. Only 1 goal behind. I think you've done nothing wrong. They have done nothing wrong. They're doing exactly what I'm asking them to do. It's quite easy to go against what your tactic plan was and say, I expect more from you. But actually, they're doing what I'm asking them to, so I'm happy. Okay, tactic. I am going to take you off and switch you around. And then for you, let's have a little look. What have we got on the bench? Hayes, left back. We've got pace. 14. Okay, yes, so I'm going to switch you up. And then left back, who can I bring on for you? Coulson. I thought you were, is he the Borough player? Yeah, he's a local. He should have started in my opinion. This might even be... What just happened? Hayes for you. How did that even switch around? Like so. Okay, dressing room. Start second half. Excuse me. Sorry. Right, let's encourage them. It would be lovely if we score a goal. Absolutely lovely. Aaron Moy, oh, what a player. He was on loan at Brighton for a while from Huddersfield. I think Brighton signed him. Oh no, they didn't sign him. But I really wanted them to at the time, but obviously they've gone on to much bigger and better things. So I was wrong at the time, but what a great player. I enjoyed watching him play. Free kick, 62nd minute. To be honest with you, I'm happy with this. I think we're performing well. Oh, that was Larry. They're still not like playing like we're supposed to be playing a higher tempo, but I think it's the familiarity as to why they're not doing it yet. This could be 2-0. Yeah, but it's the familiarity, but we've got to play it to learn it. See, now it would be really easy to start going, right, let's bring them out, blah blah blah. But no, let's not do that. We're gonna keep it as it is. Two shots in 77 minutes away to Celtic. I think this is pretty much what it would be. In away games, you should be playing this anyway. We're getting battered. Celtic are just really good. Substitute off. I mean, I'm not familiar with the players yet. It's better to do it this way, I guess. Right, what else we got? Midfield, he's knackered. So Duncan, I guess it'll have to be you. And is it only 3 subs or 5? Where does it say? It should say somewhere. Then we'll just try and make another one, I guess. Who else is knackered? Duck, let's give you... Like, if you're losing, you might as well just retire. Do you know what I mean? Bring your best players off, and we can make 5 subs by the looks of it. And then left back, Johnny Hayes. Anyone? No, we'll just leave it. Okay, that's what it is. So I accept defeat. We've lost 2-0, expected, to be fair. Don't get too hard on yourself. It's all about familiarity, consistency, then the team will start to buy into what you're doing. So yeah, we lost, but you did yourself proud. Ooh, should have read through them. Okay, I've already done the damage, don't try and fix it. Just move on. Oh, that was I don't know about proud, actually. Thinking about it, 2-0 down. Right, on to the next. Forget it, move on. Now we're going to try the other tactic and see how that goes. But again, it's about familiarity. And I mean, the familiarity is probably about the same. What is it there? It's the press. Okay. So maybe on this one, we trigger the press a little less. They prefer that. But how are we going to win the ball back? I mean, that's more for the shut-up shot. We want them... Just get familiar. Just get used to it. Because that's how you're playing. No, I don't want to loan you out. Can I just reject... loan status unavailable. We haven't got wage budget to bring anyone in, so we're just going to make do with what we got. And for the first season, I always do the same thing. Like literally, add 1 or 2 players if you can. If you can. Otherwise, just stick with what you've got and look for loanees. But the team is already, as you can see, full of loanees. So there's not really much we can do. It's literally steady the ship and work with what you got. St Mirren. Again, go away. You could always be looking to improve your team, but for the first 6 months, I'm not worried about that. In January, we'll work out who's shocking, who keeps making mistakes, what we can do to try and fix that. And if it doesn't work, then we look for replacements. Can you just leave me alone for a minute, please? Do you know what would really be cool? I don't know if you guys would be interested in, but what about doing a save where I don't get to pick the transfers? I just have to deal with what I'm given. So, as you can see, I'm quite impatient when it comes to looking to sell players on. Maybe if I've got somebody doing it for me, I won't have a choice. Right, so we're at home. We're at home, and I'm going to play the possession style football now, and let's see how we get on with that. His fitness. What's wrong with you? You can still play 45 minutes. Let's go. It's my strongest team. I want consistency, and the only way we're going to get that is by playing the players. Okay. I want to see a marked improvement. Right, and then midfield, we are going to say control it. Defenders, have faith in you. Attackers, I want to see quality finishing. Let's go. Excuse me. Always encourage at the beginning. Get them faces green. Right. Let's see if we can make the difference in this one. Straight away I can see 69% possession. Shots 2. And who's to say that we couldn't play Celtic and beat them with this style? I just feel like if you're playing away, you should be looking after your defence before your attack. Maybe we could play a little bit higher on the press, but it will work. Trust me. There will be games where you don't expect to win and you do win, and there will be games where you expect to win and you get nothing. Like, I mean, look at this. Technically, they're the better team. 3-on-3 versus 4-on-1, but it's all about Vassal learning the team over time and getting better and making better choices. Right, who is the better man for this? So Kennedy, you're going to come on. Well, there was another player. Remind me. Oh, I don't like changing this guy. Oh my days, I had them the wrong way round. This guy should be... No, it's going to be you. Okay, and then... Who's playing? So 6.4, so the striker isn't doing anything at the moment, so I had a spider crawling up my arm. How on earth a spider climbs my arm like that? Don't like spiders, they're horrible creatures. Right, come on, let's see at least a shot. You see them two tackling each other there. He was holding him back. Yeah, let me just rewind that for a second. Just watch this. Watch these two. He's stopping him from getting into position. Excuse me, coughing again. I hope you don't concede that. Oh dear. And you can see there's no cohesion there because they're all shouting at each other. Goal disallowed, offside. No, they're shouting at the ref. Oh, he was miles offside. There's no argument, no debate. Right, I am going to say demand more because I'm not having that. I want a goal. Let's go. If we had a pre-season and we were playing these two styles, I feel like we would get more out of it. But it's okay. We've got a point in 2. We're expected to finish in the top half, but I'll be honest, the top half is 6th. There's only 12 teams, but it will come good, I can assure you. Let's go. Move to physio. Oh, you got an injury. We got an injury. Oh my God, we got an injury. Do you ken what I'm saying? So what have you guys got planned for this weekend? Today is a Saturday. I'm uploading this video today. Just to sort of look at the pre-season. I mean, you saw what happened. It was shocking in the first one. But it got better. And I was going to upload this. But then I thought, nah, let's just get on to the actual season. And so far it hasn't started very well. But it will get better. I'm just going to pause it now actually until we get to the actual match. So, and we're back again. I've made it to the match and I believe we are ready to go, but I need to change up this guy. Crossing's 10, finishing 9. I mean, he's not really a winger attack, do you know what I mean? But dribbling 15, finishing, I think he will be better actually. Let's play Marcandre. Oh, and then reminder, you're still not fit. You're just going to have to play. No, hang on a sec. Hang on. Let's just switch you two around. Yes, I know. Let's go. Let's hopefully get some points on the board because we need to improve. Right, so it's important that we make full use of home advantage. Let's go and get a result. Absolutely nothing. Right, let's dominate the midfield again. We need a strong defence. Attackers, make me proud. I should have looked at them pre-match warm-up because it shows you the opposition's previous 5 games, which is quite important actually because if you see that they've got win, it might change the approach completely. Let's encourage them. It's the day of the Champions League final today with Man City as well. I'm a Manchester United fan and part of me says I don't want them to win because then they do the treble, but actually I think they deserve it. So they're the English team as well, so you always want the national teams to do well in the competitions, like West Ham winning the other day and Man City. Hopefully they win today. I shall be watching. Come on, boys. Another thing I need to do is the corners. I need to set up the corners. I always forget to do the corners at the beginning of the season, like properly. Just throw in one, but I never set it up until I know the players really. You kind of have to understand who does what before you can really make a difference. There you go, thank you very much. That's better, so let's praise them because they're doing what I asked. We haven't plenty of shots. And what a great finish that was as well, Markande. I will get it right. Excuse me. Right, so we're having shots, we've got the possession, we're doing okay. The XG is pretty similar though. We need a second. So midfield, you bossed the midfield out of there, I'm proud of you. There you go. Right, so that will make them want to continue to do the same thing. So it's Clarkson, crosses it, goes to Black, recycles. Go on, dribble, you've got the ability. So he used his left foot, he's right footed, but they will use their left foot on the winger on the other side. Whereas inside forwards and inverted wingers, they would primarily use their right foot. And it's looking good so far. Praise. Tell you what I am going to do for the last 10 minutes is we're going to switch to. Well, in fact, they're not coming out still. Look, they're not coming out. That's a good ball. Unlucky. This could spell danger. Nicely done. Hold it, go home, inside. Nice, use him again. Nice. Oh, nice. Out wide, go. Use your man and inside. Good boy. One more. So what are they doing now? So the keeper's got the ball and then they're launching. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to shut up shop for 10 minutes, which is going to allow them to have the ball. So the shut up shop, just to remind you, is really basic. You want to press him forward at the front on defend. We're not looking to score goals, we're just looking to look after the defence. Right, so we've got pressing forward, wingers attack. We still want them to attack on the wings. In fact, I'm going to switch you up. Centre midfielder, you still want something going forward. If you put everything like defensive, you'll just create a wall and then you'll just clear the ball and then nothing will happen. You'll concede a goal because of it. And absolute no. Alarm bells there. Look, sweep a keeper with a back line like that. And generally, actually, you should have these as no nonsense. But I'm not looking to play the ball long. We're wasting time. We're just keeping the ball and trying to play safe, playing it out and working it into the box. So we're frustrating the opposition. And there you go. That's how you see a game out. And we've got the win. So it wasn't an easy 3 points. As you can see, the XG was quite similar for both teams, but we had the more chances. We had 70% possession, pass completion of 88%, which is very, very good. That's Barcelona-esque. They would normally have a pass ratio of 90 to 93%. Back in the Xavi, Iniesta days, I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Let's have a little look at the league table before we see you go. That was good. Thank you very much. Midfielders, I'm going to say that I'm delighted you took charge in the midfield. There you go. So just follow up. Although it's green, make them really happy and they will get behind you. So here we go. We're up to 6th. This is our target. We need to be here at least. But I feel like we can finish 3rd. But try and challenge these two. We'll see. But thanks for watching. And look forward to... excuse me. Look forward to making the next video. Please leave a like and a thumbs up. And leave a comment. Please. It will help the channel. And I look forward to the next. Take care. Goodbye.